For a poker, you're going to need to get yourself some mild steel. This is 12mm square or 1/2 inch square mild steel bar. It's about 20 inches long or 500mm. From one end I've marked 200mm or 8 inches, and then a further 30mm or 1 inch and 1/4-ish. Okay, so the 2 cm marks, I'm just using as guides to see how far I want to draw down the body of the poker, and I just neck in down to about 1/4 inch square or 6mm, about half the thickness of the starting stock. I'm going to start drawing this down into a tape. So now I'm just going to put a point on this side. I'm keeping the bar in its majority on my leg, holding it tight on my thigh, and then I'm just using the edge of the anvil, the far side edge of the anvil, just to start drawing a point down on here. I'm using this side of the anvil to do the point because it allows me to hang the hammer off the edge of the anvil. If I was doing it back here, I could end up hitting the anvil. But here, I stand less chance of hitting the anvil. Okay, so now I'm just going to rest the work on the anvil, and the same principle but the opposite way around now. I'm just going to forge this in. Produce an octagon on the opposite side. Now this is going to forge my neck in a little bit. I don't want to take this too far, but whatever I do on one side, I need to do on the other as well. That way it keeps everything nice and tidy. And I'm just going to take the corners off. Okay, and I just need to tidy this up now. So I'm just going to come back over the far side. Just dress that up. I'm going to take one more heat on this, just to tidy everything up again. But so you've got a nice point on the end there. Ram's head. Right, so the first thing I'm going to do, I draw a one-sided taper out, use about 1 inch of the material at the end, maybe about 1 1/4 inch, 30mm. Now I'm just going to start drawing this down now. This is going to become our antlers, our horns, sorry. Now this one-sided taper, it doesn't really matter how long it is, but you really need to get over 2 inches of length out of it. So you need to double it at the very least. If not, triple it. I'm aiming for about 3 inches, 3.5 inches, and which is about 75mm, 80mm. But the key thing is to keep it the right thickness. So what do I mean by one-sided taper? Well, what I'm trying to do is create a taper that, if that's the back of our bar, it's sloping down towards the back of the bar. You want to keep it at its starting stock thickness though. So if your starting stock is 12mm, you can make these out of 12mm, 20mm, 16mm, so that's 5/16, 3/4 inch bar, anything like that will do it. 3/4 inch is probably a bit big for a poker, but the ram's head themselves can be made out of any size. And now what I'm going to do at this lower temperature, just take these corners off, like so. And then I'm just going to take the corners off back here, ever so slightly, like so as well. Okay, I'm going to take another heat now, and I'll start putting a little bit of decoration into the antlers, the sort of growth rings. Do that now. Okay, so I'm going to use the Blacksmith third leg to do this job. In other words, I'm just going to jam it between my legs and just hold it. And now I'm going to take what is a flattened cold chisel. So basically I've cut the cold chisel end off, and I'm going to put some of these lines in about 3/4 of the way down of the taper. And this is going to create sort of like growth lines. You don't have to do it this way. You could cut the horns in half and twist them. That looks just as good. I will refer to this at the end of the video, but this is the Ken, or this is loosely based on the Ken's custom build. And there'll be a link in the description to Ken's video as well. I thought his rams came out the nicest of all the ones that I saw. There were some very complicated ones with lots of carving and stuff, but for an item like this that we're valuing somewhere in the region of 30 to 40 pounds, you know, you can put as much effort in as you like really to these, but whether or not you'll get paid for that effort is another story. Right, so I put these marks in, and now I'm going to spend a bit of time just cutting them in half. Okay, so I'm going to grab myself a relatively sharp hand chisel. I'm going to sort of try and find the centre. I could do with coming over a little bit, but to be honest, once you get up to the bending up of these horns, these antlers, whatever they're called, you end up finding that you can't really tell whether one's bigger than the other anyway, so unless they're drastically bigger than the other. Now for these, all I do is I come just past that last growth ring, or whatever they're called, and I'm going to go back over this now. Like so. So I'm just going to take a hacksaw. I probably shouldn't be doing this hot, but I'm just going to remove that last couple of mil. Last sort of 1/8 of an inch of material out of the way, and then I'm going to get myself a half round. I'm just going to clean up some of this mess that's on here. Okay, so my favourite mistake at this point is to bend this the wrong way. But what you want to do is you just want to grab those horns, you want to grab it in the vise just so that the horns are just under the bottom jaw, and then you want to bend this over, and whilst you're bending it over, give it a good old-fashioned tap, get it about 90 degrees. Right, so about 10 mil, 3/8 an inch back from the bend. I'm just going to put a little bit of a set in. This is going to develop our neck from it here. It's nothing special. It's just a bit of an area for a change in dimension. So it's going to make our neck look a bit better. As before with the poker part, I'm just coming back a couple of inches, about, I don't know, 2 inches, 50 mil. Back from where we just put that little set down in with the fullerene dies on the Blacksmith helper. Now I'm just going to take the corners off, coming nice and tight there, and all this is going to do is just going to give us a slight change in section just behind the neck of the animal, of the ram's head, and just make it look a bit more natural for a ram's head to be present on the end of a poker. Oh, and made out of steel, which we all know isn't right. Lovely. I'm keeping everything nice and straight and nice and tidy. I really want everything to be straight, nice and tidy, so that it doesn't cause me any bother as we're forging. Get into that corner a little bit. Just there and here as well, get into that corner. Nice and tidy like so. Right, I'm going to get this area hot, bend it back on itself and start a fire weld. I'm not going to turn the fire off for this process, I'm just going to get on with it. Okay, so quite warm now, this temperature, for what we're about to do. But I'm just going to mark the top up. Sorry, ram. Just going to start with his nose first. Just mark his nose in. And then his eyes. And come back a bit and do his eyes. Oh, a bit high. And then his other eye, try and get it in about the same position. They do look good if they're squinty. And then, I'm just going to get the chisel. Just going to grab the chisel. I'm going to stick that on underneath, start marking out. This mouth of his. I'm just going to go into that mouth again. Bring this nose in a bit, and again, oh, and these eyes, and the same on this side. Now you can do loads of detail on these if you want to. I just like to take the chisel just where the first growth ring starts, just back from there. Just give me a little nick there, just sort of, oh, and this, just sort of use that just to define where the antlers are. And also I like to put a little cleft in the bottom of the top lip, because sheep have that little cleft there. And also I'm just going to take an angle grinder, I'm just going to grind off the face here. They have a slightly smaller jaw at the bottom half. But that's it basically now. We're all done. Nice hot heat, or relatively warm at least anyway. I'm just going to grab a set of scrolling pliers, just going to lift this horn up. And then from this back side of this horn, where it starts on the taper, I'm going to start scrolling this round like so. Don't get that hot again. You want to be careful with these, because if you go too mad with them, they yeah, if you go too mad with them, these bits break off. So get them nice and hot all the time. So we're nearly done. But this last process is just to get the head to line up ever so slightly and make it look a bit more realistic. So I'm just going to bend it out this way, and then I'm going to just start taking this round like so. Come back on here again. Keep taking this round. This is a bit that I'm really bad at, to be fair. I'm not very good at this bit. You start bringing this round into a crook. Flatten this out. Well, this was loads of fun. I really enjoyed making it, and it turned out great. And it's a great little project if you're a beginner or you're sort of trying to improve your skills. There's lots going on in here. There's a little fire weld, there's a drawing out technique, there's a sort of set downs, there's some scrolling and bending. So it's a great little project to hone your skills. There's some laying out to be done. If you follow the measurements I've made and stuff, you make yourself genuinely a nice little poker. They're nice and short, these little ones. These are for, you know, sort of like your wood stoves and stuff like that. You don't need a big long poker for a wood stove. You just need something you can get in there and poke it around. Whereas if this was for a log fire, you'd probably want it double as long, and you'd want the little hook on the end. So you could use these as like little handles for walking sticks. You could use them for all sorts of things, really. But yeah, it's a great thing to practice, and they're good to sell. This probably would sell somewhere between 30, I think 40 quid's a bit greedy, but if you're selling them through a craft shop or something like that, you're probably going to have to charge more like 40 quid for something like this, so you can get a reasonable return on them, because they're obviously going to be taking a percentage as well. But I really enjoy making these. This has been great fun. It's been great fun learning how to make these. I made a few of them now. But anyway, I digress. This is for sale, or it will be for sale. It will be up on the Etsy. There'll be a couple of these up on the Etsy. There'll be lots of little things that we've been making on the channel up on the Etsy for people to go and look and buy. There'll be hammers, there'll be all sorts of tools up there. Yeah, just a little bit of everything basically will be up on the Etsy. And there will be merchandise and some of the burner things. I don't want to get too deep into the going down the burners. I don't want to be building burners. I don't want a business that revolves around building burners. I've got enough stuff going on. But I will be able to get those bulkhead fittings, and I could probably put the MIG tip jet thingies in. So if people are interested in getting those. And also, I've got the t-shirts. Trust me, I'm a Blacksmith cotton polo neck t-shirts with the Kitty the Power Hammer on the side there. I've got those available now if you're interested. Everything from small to double XL. People keep saying they're triple XL. And it's like, I don't know if I can get that. I'm pretty sure I can't get it, but I'll ask the ladies again who make it. They make it locally as well, so I'm supporting a local company. Baseball caps as well. They're grey baseball caps with Kitty on. And what else are there? No, that's pretty much everything. For the minute, there might be some more stuff coming in the future. Block brushes, like everything you could ever think of. I will be vlogging it soon enough. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, remember to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you are a subscriber, please ring that bell for notifications, because it tells you every time I make a video. I make videos about twice a week. Sometimes I make it 3 times a week, and the occasional live. I am looking to do a live here very soon. Thank you for joining me. Comments down below, let me know what you thought of this. Let me know if you want to get hold of any of the bits and bobs that I may or may not have mentioned in that long list of Etsy stuff that's coming up. Yeah, that's everything. I'll leave a link up here to a video of me making a dragon. I'll leave a link down here of me making some horses. This is my Patreon, great way to support the channel. And this here is the subscribe button. Thank you for joining me, guys and girls. See you later. Bye-bye. Don't really want to get too deep into the burner orifice. That was disgusting.